Welcome to JGTCR, I'm Cope, and today we are tuning the Audi Sport Quattro S1 Pikes Peak. Let's get into it. This Audi is an old school rally car. It really is not designed for this kind of racing. The suspension is very spongy and the car is very floaty, but it does work well if driven correctly. The Sport Quattro has a top speed of 255 km per hour, and thanks to the gearing, it reaches that top speed in the blink of an eye. The power delivery is very aggressive, so running at high RPM equals torque steering and Mr. Plowing straight off the track. As such, it's best to use low RPM, especially on corner exit. And if there is a need to change gears while cornering, make sure to short shift, or alternatively, come into the corner in the higher gear. Needless to say, one should only accelerate at full throttle once a corner is cleared and in a dead straight line. When it comes to braking, it's amazing this Audi does not do a nose stand. The brakes work extremely well, and only 50% is needed at any given moment while on a tarmac surface. If we are too aggressive on the brakes, the tail tends to kick out. And thanks to the super soft suspension, it is very common to get wobbly under brakes. And once this happens, a lot of correction is needed to regain control. Let's jump ahead and collect our time. 6 minutes 49.7 seconds. Let's take a look at the tune. The greater part of getting the Audi Sport Quattro prepared to drive on tarmac surfaces is to make the suspension far more firm. The differential settings helped us get on top of some heavy torque steer that we were experiencing after increasing the power. Let's head back out to the Nürburgring. Our Audi Sports Quattro has now been crafted for a racetrack experience. Our suspension is much more firm, eliminating the sponginess we experienced in factory trim. Our lower center of gravity helps with weight transitions when attacking turns. This translates to better steering ability, and it allows us to settle into turns and be more stable. With our top speed adjusted, we can now take advantage of the power provided by the engine and wind out those gears, saving us plenty of time when we reach the finish line. The power does come on strong, but it's not too aggressive and can be managed. Under braking, the Sports Quattro is now far more stable, and we can go 100% on brakes cautiously without any issue. If we are aggressive on the brakes, the tail can kick out if the road surface is uneven. Let's jump ahead and collect our time. 6 minutes 16.7 seconds. And now the drift tune. We have made quite a few adjustments to the suspension of the Sport Quattro to make it drift. However, it is nothing too crazy. Most of the work is done by the differential, which is maxed in initial torque, acceleration and braking sensitivity. And of course, the front-rear torque distribution is set completely biased to the rear. And with that, let's go drifting. The Audi Sport Quattro S1 Pikes Peak is a rally car, so naturally it feels at home sliding around on a track. But usually it's made of dirt. And yes, we know there are tarmac rallies, but this is considerably different if you catch my drift. Pun fully intended. This Audi feels right at home drifting on circuit. It handles incredibly well and has absolutely no problems with anything we may throw at it. No matter how light or heavy-handed we are with this Sport Quattro, it is ready to comply. There is plenty of power on tap, always at the ready, just waiting to come on boost and fry those tires. Transitions while drifting are seamless and almost occur naturally. And even though this Audi is four-wheel drive, it seems the front wheels have relinquished their duties, so the front end pull is not as aggressive as most other four-wheel drive cars. This makes it easy to drift, place and control on circuit. If we were to sum up how the Audi Sport's Quattro drifts in one word, it would be effortlessly. The Audi Sport Quattro S1 Pikes Peak is quite the versatile vehicle. In factory trim, it is designed for dirt rally tracks, but when put to the test on tarmac surfaces, it does perform surprisingly well, although it is held back by its limited top speed. When completely modified and tuned, it becomes far more suited for driving on tarmac surfaces. The improvement to brakes and suspension allow us to drive far more aggressively, slashing our times. In the drift arena, this Audi shows its rally roots and is more than happy to prove that it is a natural drift car that is easy to control and effortless to drift. And that's all we have for you today, so until next time, keep racing!